Hi again then guys, and so we've got another replica build special project for you today, and this time it's for the TVR Cerberus Speed 6, and the particular replica that we're going for is a replica of the top of the line Cerberus, which is the 4.5 Red Rose. Now this version is more powerful than any of the other Cerberus Speed 6s, or as it was just called by that point, the Cerberus. So there's not that much you can do to this car visually because it's a non-premium model, unfortunately. So as far as a replica, obviously it's mainly mechanical. You can pretty much go for whatever colour you want. For the rims, we've gone for 7-spoke plain looking rims, which are very similar to the actual car's rims. And as far as the colour, just gone for a dark bluish purple, but again, just go for whatever colour you want. So we'll go straight over to the mechanical garage for the setup of the car, and then obviously out to the track to see what it can do. So as far as the mechanical setup on this particular replica, it is of course a road car, so I've gone for sports soft tyres rather than racing. For suspension, try to keep it relatively realistic looking. You don't want the car to be too slammed because it is a replica of a road car, of course. So we've got the ride height on 110 front and rear. Springs we've rounded off to 7 and 575. Dampers and anti-roll to 4. A tiny bit of camber on 0.5 front and rear. Neutral toe. For the gearbox, of course, this is not a top speed tune. The real Red Rose Cerberus is capable of around 195 miles per hour. So this tune is pretty good for that kind of speed. So we've got an auto setting of 205, as you can see. Then for the individual gears, we've gone for 30, 50, 1950, 1360, 1010 and 800 with a final drive of 3.1. For the diff, we've got halfway on initial torque, full acceleration sensitivity and the lowest braking. For power, we do have an oil change, so you need to bear that in mind. Then for the actual tuning, we've gone for the Stage 2 engine tune and the sports exhaust, and then reduced it down to the actual power of the real Red Rose Cerberus, which is 440 horsepower. And then as far as the weight, we've got the Stage 1 weight reduction, and then a 10 kilo ballast, which we've put all the way to the back, which brings us up to the real weight, again, of the actual Cerberus 4.5 Red Rose. So a pretty simple replica overall, this one, mainly due to it not being a premium model, but even then, it's still pretty visually accurate to the actual Red Rose Cerberus. So now let's take it out to the track to see what it can do. Overall then, this is of course not a competition spec tune. It's not particularly PP relevant. It's kind of an awkward PP for racing, but it is above all just a fun replica, the kind of car that you can just pull out in a cruise lobby or just when you fancy driving something a bit different. That is obviously a replica to get as close as possible really to the feel and performance of the Red Rose Cerberus. I have to say, despite not having racing soft tyres, it handles really, really well, surprisingly so for a TVR, and is really nice to drive. The sports exhaust also sounds far better than the higher or lower spec exhausts. Gives it an appropriate sound. It still doesn't sound anywhere near as good as a real TVR, but it's about as close as we can currently get with the sounds of Gran Turismo. So overall, if you decide to use this replica tune, I hope you find it fun. If you do decide to use it for racing, I hope of course it's potentially competitive, but at the end of the day that's not really what it's designed for. And if you found this interesting or helpful, feel free to subscribe. I put out new special projects like this every week. And as always, thanks for watching.